Hey,
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 oh, we're here now.
we are.
The glitch on there last night. Oh well.
could be from St. John's
Right, probably
Newfoundland running
almost every night in between.
Par for the course, hey.
Par for the new course, yeah.
11, 8 o'clock, 8:30 in Newfoundland.
That's it. Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Edutainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show.
Hey.
My name, my name is Chris Kerwin. I'm the creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay. I am also an amateur astronomer and a member of RASC Canada. Okay, leave it there. Hey,
Yeah.
for the last time this season, I'd like to introduce my two co-hosts for the evening. Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory in St. John. Hey, Mike. And Mr. Paul Owen from the beautiful Hampton area, Moonshot Observatory. Thank you, Paul.
Hello.
Hey, Paul. Nice.
Testing off my camera. Oh,
All
there.
right, and we'd like to welcome all of you tonight from YouTube and Facebook land, and thank you so much for your support, as always. Okay, on tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Now, tonight's show will be our last program until September. So we're asking what you'll be doing with your stargazing plans. What plans do you have for the summer? We're also going to talk a little bit about some upcoming celestial events and star party events, of course, too, for the next couple of months. Also going to have another Binal Bud target to check out. Paul will be providing another interesting Rosanna's Fun Fact episode. I'll have actually my list of upcoming events is going to be in my slideshow coming up here soon, along with your wonderful photos. So let's get started with tonight's program then, guys, and look ahead at some activities coming up in the next few months, along with your observing plans. So who out there is going to be doing some observing? First of all, let us know what your plans are. If you're planning to head out to a star party, are you heading camping and taking the family out for a stargazing event, anything like that? Let us know in the comments.
Just make sure you don't do it on the weekend,
On the weekend.
because it always rains.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to open up a little PowerPoint I had here to talk a little bit about what we see as what's coming up over the next couple of months. So let me first of all.
By the way, there was some auroral activity over the weekend.
Oh.
Up just beyond Moncton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Annie went out and she got some aurora shots.
Yeah, because there was the coronal hole there in the sun. It was releasing some solar wind, I guess. The solar wind get up to around 700. which was good. The BZ stayed low too, which is good. So yeah, there was some I had seen some from just the other night, yeah, as well.
I think we didn't get any good weather to see it, but she did anyway.
Yeah, awesome.
That night we were down at the ferry landing was clear, and it was
Yeah.
supposed to get something, but we didn't stay. I didn't stay long enough to take a
Yeah.
shot.
I can't remember the time of night that she saw it. I forgot to look at that, but
Okay, let's take a quick look then at what I put together for some events coming up for you
Alrighty.
to enjoy. We're up there, are we? Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so let's take a look at a few things that I had put together to see how our summer can run. So first of all, we're going to look at this one, July 4th, which is pretty soon. Mercury is at its greatest eastern elongation. Now the planet Mercury reaches its greatest eastern elongation. That means it's the farthest east it can be in our western sky. And this is the best time to view Mercury because it will actually be at its highest point above the horizon as well in the evening. So look for a little planet low in the western sky just after sunset. I know I did a Facebook live feed the other day with that on it, and we were able to offer it. So it is visible and it is bright as well. Little Mercury only takes 88 days to orbit the sun, so we get a chance to see it at its farthest east in our western sky, and shortly after we'll get a chance to see it at its farthest west in our eastern sky, which will be sometime in August. I got a slide on that coming up too, so keep an eye on that one. Going to jump right there from there to this one. And this is just a brand new announcement. So there is Mactaquac Star Party planned now at Mactaquac Provincial Park from July the 25th to the 27th. That's a new moon weekend, so the skies will be really dark. I don't have much more information than that at the moment. Probably the best thing is going to be to go to rasknb.ca if you're interested in finding out more about it. I'll probably put something about it up on my Facebook page, and or you might be able to find more about it at sjastronomy.ca too once the rest of the information gets released. I think what they're doing now is they're trying to pick out the spot in the field where they're going to set up and the campsites for the astronomers. So once that information gets released, I can provide more of it to you. But just if you're planning on attending a Star Party event, there is one here at July 25th to 27th. Going back to the next slide, July 28th, 29th, there's the Delta Aquariid meteor shower. Now, the Delta Aquariids is an average shower that can produce up to 20 meteors per hour at its peak. It is produced by debris left behind by comets Marsden and Crackt. The shower runs annually from July 12th to August 23rd. Its peak this year on the night of July 28th and the morning of the 29th. Now, the crescent moon will set early in the evening, leaving dark skies for what should be an excellent show. Best viewing will be from a dark location after midnight. Meteors will radiate from the constellation Aquarius. That's why the name, but it can appear, of course, anywhere in the sky. So that's the Delta Aquariids. I'm going to move from there to our next event, which I have scheduled, or that's seen here for August. So August 1st, 2nd is the Mount Carlton Star Party. This is one of our annual Star Party events. One of 4, which is going to be 5, I guess now. And I do have a link here where you can pick up information on it from RaskNB, but I'm going to flip over to the couple of pages I picked off their page there today. So come join members of the Rask Canada for our annual Star Party at Mount Carlton Provincial Park, a designated dark sky preserve with pristine dark skies. They are pristine. When you are at Mount Carlton and you hold your hand out and there's no moon in the sky, your hand will cast a shadow on the ground from the Milky Way. Milky Way is the cause of it. Anyway, our activities will be held at the Armstrong Campground around Site 44. You can just look for the telescopes. Now, several telescopes will be set up on Friday and Saturday night to allow the public to view the wonders of the night sky. And weather permitting, of course, we'll be able to see various star clusters, galaxies, and nebula. Preceding the evening observation session, there will be a presentation at the kitchen shelter near Site 44 where you can learn more about the sky wonders that can be observed that evening. So here's the basic schedule. So on Friday night from 8 to 9, we have a What's Up presentation at the kitchen shelter. Come learn about the wonders of the night sky. From 10 till midnight, we offer night sky observing with telescopes. So come look through our telescopes, enjoy the views. Saturday morning, we start with, or Saturday afternoon, we start with some observing from 1 to 3 p.m. So we have solar observing. Take a look at our nearest star with these especially filtered telescopes. Then again, from 8 to 9 p.m., another What's Up presentation on Saturday evening, and from 10 to midnight again, night sky viewing with telescope. So it lasts for Friday night, Saturday night, we leave on Sunday morning. So that's the event scheduled for Mount Carlton. Now, the thing about Mount Carlton, it's a long drive for some of us, especially at the southern part of the province. It takes quite a bit to get there. So keep a real close eye on the weather forecast, because if the weather calls for rain all weekend, you may be, iffy if it's going to be attended or not. But I will be keeping a close eye on the weather for sure. The thing about Mount Carlton too is it is in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know if they have do they have debit machines there now, guys? Do you know, or
Yeah, yes, they do.
you do know? Okay, because I
Yeah.
know you used to have to take cash with you, but
Yeah, no, you're good to go now.
good. Okay. Here's another event coming up on August the 12th, the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus. I'd say this is probably one of the top 10 events coming up this year. On the 20th, now Jupiter and Venus are joined by a slim crescent moon to make the wonderful celestial triangle. Oh, hang on. Now I moved that slide to the one that I wanted to see first. Hang on. This is the one I want. There. A conjunction of the third and the fourth brightest objects, Jupiter and Venus, will take place in the morning sky of August the 12th. Now, easily visible together in the field of view of binoculars, the two worlds will appear less than a half of a degree, or the width of the full moon, apart. So that's a pretty close conjunction there. There's the view on the left-hand side, what you would see through 10 by 50 binoculars, basically. And here's what they're going to appear like to your naked eye. So they'll be fairly close together to your naked eye. And I'm going to scoot back to the slide I did have. On the 20th, though, the Jupiter and Venus are joined by a slim crescent moon to make a nice celestial triangle there. You may even spot little Mercury very close to the horizon, too. So nice views there. Let's move ahead farther to the 12th and 13th when we come into the Perseid meteor shower. Of course, the Perseids is one of the best meteor showers to observe. One reason because it's nice in the middle of summer, and it's not uncomfortable to be out in the evening, just staring at the night sky. They usually produce about 60 meters per hour at their peak. And it's produced by Comet Swift-Tuttle, which was discovered back in 1862. Now, the Perseids are famous for producing a large number of bright meteors. The shower runs annually from July 17th to the 24th of August. It peaks this year on the night of August 12th in the morning of August the 13th. Now, there is a waning gibbous moon that night, which will block out all but the brightest ones. But if you are patient, you may be able to catch quite a few good ones. Best viewing will be from a dark location after midnight, which usually is the case with most meteor showers. Meteors will radiate from the constellation of Perseus, but can appear anywhere in the sky. So that's a really comfortable one to be out, even if it is a bright moon. You've got an opportunity to glance around the sky with a pair of binoculars and just enjoy the view. Okay, next up, we have Mercury at greatest western elongation. Well, there we are. So July the 4th was the greatest eastern. Here we are just a month and a little bit on the other side, and it's at the greatest western elongation. So planet Mercury reaches greatest western of 18.6 degrees from the sun. It is best time to view Mercury since it will be at its highest point above the horizon in the morning sky this time. So the greatest western is how far west it can be in the morning sky. Look for the planet low in the eastern sky just before sunrise. Now it will be joined by beautiful Venus, Jupiter, and the crescent moon. So there's a nice capture. And of course, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter, they'll be in this. Now this is when Jupiter and Venus were after the close conjunction. They're starting to split apart there. So these three planets will be lined up for a couple of weeks or so, like that. So there we are. That's coming up on the August 19th. Let's move ahead to the 22nd, 23rd when we have our Fundy Stargaze. This is our annual event at Fundy National Park, another dark sky preserve here in New Brunswick. And a little bit of information on that one. Join members are asked for annual stargaze at Fundy National Park in the same blah, blah, blah speech there during Saturday afternoon, look at the sun. So anyway, for visitors, star party activities are free and open to the public. The activities themselves are, however, you must have a pass to enter the park. Now this year, you don't need a pass, right? Because the parks are all free. So you can join us, even if you're not going to come for camping, you can join us for the evening at these national parks. without having to camp overnight. But if you want to camp overnight, you need to book a campsite, of course. And move on from there. Same kind of a schedule for our Funding National Park event. Friday night from 8 to 9 p.m. a WhatsApp presentation from 9 till 12 in this case. Night sky viewing with telescopes. Solar observing from 1 to 3 on Saturday. From 1 to 3 is also a telescope and astrophotography clinic. So bring along your telescope for free set and tuning and learn about astrophotography as well. How to take a picture of the Milky Way, picture of the moon, that kind of thing. From 8 to 9 p.m. on Saturday, there's a What's Up presentation. And then from 9 till 12, night sky viewing again with telescopes. So a little bit later, a little bit earlier, I guess, 8 to 9, because it's starting to get darker already. For all those people who like it.
So just a note on that too, for anybody who is who wants to volunteer to come up and bring a scope and set up with us on the star field. That's where we camp at the same time. So if you want to do that, and you have a telescope and you want to volunteer, send me an email and I can get you set up and registered at the camps with the parks. That's both Mount Carlton and Fundy. Just send it to pacificpaul@msn.com and let me know if you are interested in doing it. And all I need to know from you is who's coming. In other words, who's in your party, how many nights you're staying, whether or not it's a tent or a trailer, and what kind of scope you're bringing. And that's all I need to know from you. So that's it.
And those who volunteer with their scopes get camping for free, right? So
Exactly.
the campsite is free.
Yep.
For the nights that we're there. So yeah.
Yeah.
So there. Awesome. Great. And observing site. Well, here we are. We're down at Herring Cove. In this case, it's a fairly long drive from, well, it's a fair drive from the actual, I'll say the entrance to the park.
Yeah.
Not the entrance, but down by
Information center. Yeah.
Information center. Thank you. Yeah. But it is a nice area. And actually, there's a spot here where cars can park, and we're set up back here in the open field area. So it's well attended and it's well supervised. So people with bright lights aren't shining in our eyes. We're not losing our dark adaptation. It gives us a lot better chance to provide a nice view. So
yeah,
I look forward to one. Now we've been lucky so far with I guess fog hasn't been much of an issue for us so far. But
no. And by the way, if those who like to spend a little time on the beach, that there's a beach just down the hill. Mike won't go down to it, but there's a beach down the hill, and it is absolutely wonderful. But be prepared to have a little bit of a hike coming back up, because it's a lot of stairs to go up to get from that beach. But
I got no problem going down as long as somebody carries me back up. I don't have a stair climber.
there you go. All right, so that's the Fundy National Park event, and then following that, there's another event, another star party. It's September 12th to 13th at Kutumquak. We call this one the Kutumquak Fall Star Fest. So same idea as the last two. This was September 12th to 13th, and more members of RASC will be there to have set up. Now we have anywhere from 10 to 40 telescopes set up in the field. So you can have if you're thinking about buying a telescope, it's a great opportunity to come kick the tires, as per se. Most astronomers love to show off their gear and talk about their gear. So you've got lots of chances to find out before you make that big purchase what you should be investing in. Also, of course, we've got beautiful things to show you in the night sky. So the same kind of setup here, 8 to 9 p.m. What's up? 9 to 11:30, night sky observing. Saturday from 1 to 3 solar observing, 1 to 3 telescope clinic, and 8 to 9 the What's Up. So all these events only take place on Friday and Saturday, and we're gone on Sunday. And location for that one is right there, observing site 194, which is within the campground. We have a presentation at the outdoor theater, and parking for non-camping visitors is also set up there as well.
And if you like the bicycle, that's an awesome place to do some biking. So you can even rent bikes up there, and it's very flat, and it's got a long trail. So again, if you're a biking type, it's good, and they've got one of the nicest beaches too up there. So there's lots to do up that campground.
Awesome.
And by the way, if for those who don't know, in Canada for this summer, it's not free to camp, but the parks are free entries to get in and out of. So they waive the fees to get in out of a campground or any one of the national parks.
So if you wanted to join us just for the evening, on either evening, you could make the trip to
Yeah.
Fundy, for instance, and come in for the evening, stay the evening, and then head out.
Yeah.
Later on, kind of thing. Or Cooch, I guess, the same way. So yeah, that gives you that option, which is kind of nice this year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So from there, we're going to go to, and I think the parks themselves are 25% discount, I believe, this year as well. So booking your campsite, you get
Yeah.
25%
It's all got to do with trying to get people staying home
at the state
and
home.
spending more time in Canada. So
Yeah. Okay. From there, we got our beautiful ring beauty Saturn is at opposition on the 21st. So will appear nearly ringless though. Saturn takes about 30 years to orbit the sun, has a tilt similar to Earth. So once each year, when we catch up to it, we see it from a different perspective, of course. Once every 15 years, the rings appear almost edge on. Now, this perspective does allow us to see the positions of its many moons that reside in the plane of the planet easier than at any other time. Now, the rings will return to full view by 2027. So there we are, 2023, 2024, 25, just a slit there. So you won't be able to see too much, but it's still awesome to see. You will be able to see the moons themselves easier as well, like we do with Jupiter, I guess, because they're in the same plane as the ring. So that's coming up on the 21st. Let's move from that one to the 3 full moons of summer. Okay, there are full moons, of course. July's full moon is known as the buck moon, and that's signifying the new antlers that emerge on deer, bucks' foreheads around that time. This year, it falls on July the 10th. The full moon in August, called the sturgeon moon, will fall on August the 9th. The name is derived from the large number of sturgeon fish that were typically found in the Great Lakes and Lake Champlain during this time of year, and the fish was an important food source for Native American tribes. And the third one, of course, is September's full moon. The full corn moon arrives on September the 7th. Now, the corn moon specifically refers to the full moon that occurs closest to the time when the corn is traditionally harvested, but this is not the harvest moon. That is in October. That's the one that's closest to the solstice. Or not solstice, I'm sorry, the equinox. Okay, so that's the story on them. And they are actually all super, super full moons. This moon is a full moon that occurs when the moon is at or nearest its closest point to Earth in its orbit. So only the ones that are October, November, December, sorry, these are later ones that make the moon appear larger and brighter than a regular moon. So these are the 3 dates for the super moons this year. Of course, we have the sun and the aurora, and elevated solar activity seems to be certain for the rest of the year and result in opportunities for more aurora. Astronomers are suggesting we have reached the solar maximum, the point at which the sun is most active. This results in complex sunspot groups, more opportunities for CMEs, and if we're lucky, more opportunities for aurora. Remember, we may be at solar maximum, but we still have a few years to exit this part of the 11-year cycle, so we still have some time yet. Move on from there. If you're looking for more information about events coming up, you can also find them here at Lisa's Lookup, Astronomy and More. Lisa is on Facebook at Ruby Moonbeams, on Instagram, Facebook, Mastodon, and Threads, and Blue Sky. And Lisa does put out the event itself, the date of the event, the peak time for that event, and what you need for seeing tools, naked eye, binoculars, or a telescope. So follow Lisa over at Ruby Moonbeams, Instagram, Mastodon, Facebook, Threads, and now on Blue Sky. Thank you, Lisa. And finally, our St. John Astronomy Club and Rask and V Club calendar, which is put together by Kurt Nason. And this is a 6-week one right into the mid-July. So any events that you're looking for, you can download this calendar at both of those sites, and you can follow events that are coming up. So, we got to understand, we are privileged to have so many local spots here to stargaze in Canada. We have a pretty good country that way. So get out and enjoy the night skies. And take lots of pictures so you can see them for our shows when we come back in September. Or I'll save them either way.
DVD.
Yeah. So that should be that.
Should be a good summer.
Yeah. Look at here. Dan Garrett says, I just came from AstroCon 25 in Bryce Canyon, now in the middle of nowhere at Factory Butte, Utah. Portal
Wow.
One guys. Never mind. Chris, sorry if I overloaded you with pictures. No, that's fine. And thanks, Elon and Starlink. We got your pictures ready to go here, Dan, tonight for sure. Thank you for sending them in. Robert says, for me, over the summer, I'm going to try and get some something imaged every week, run some of my own outreach in my area, and maybe go to Fundy Stargaze. There you go. And Dave and Carol Anderson, hi, I will be doing outreach at North Frontenac Observing Park in Ontario, then traveling to Nova Scotia with the Nova East Star Party and visit family. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Dave, will be see you at Nova East. That's awesome. Bridget says, beyond backyard is a great spot for sky gazing and meteor showers, and we'll be attending the Findy Star Party. That's great, Bridget. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes. Yes,
So,
we haven't seen Bridget
yeah.
since last. No, actually, we saw Bridget at the Hampton
Yes.
star party we did.
The one that was like 40 below.
Yeah, that's the one. It was mighty cold.
Yeah, it was. All right. I'll keep watching for comments here and I'll add them up as we go along. If anybody else wants to comment on where they're going to be, hopefully you'll be able to join us. Lisa and Fanning says, Lunar X on my birthday, July the 2nd. There you go, Lisa.
Oh,
So yeah, if you're going to join us at one of the events, please do come out and join us. Star parties are really fun. They really are. You have an opportunity, as I mentioned, to look through a pile of telescopes, and everyone is usually looking at something different. We try to do that. We always, before we'd say, okay, everybody's on Saturn. Well, I just saw it over there. Now we're trying to each find a target, so that when you go to each telescope, you're seeing something different, and that helps the flow to move around a little bit. So there'll be scopes from all different sizes, and people from all over the province will be attending it.
Yeah.
Any of these events. So we're really excited about them. That's something we look forward to the most, for sure. I think we had 1,000 people last year, or the year before at Fundy. Fundy.
Was that right around there somewhere?
Yeah, really around 1,000 last year.
yeah, there's lots of people.
250 or something. So
Yeah. Anyway, they're always well attended. So
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go from there then to Vinyl Bud.
Bino Bud.
Bud.
Bino Bud tonight is going to be just a little bit different. But we'll go through it, see what we can. So binocular target of the week this week is going to be all about the best Bino Bud summer targets.
Hey, perfect.
How's that? You can see a little sight looking around the stars there to see where I'm going to go. So asterisms around the summer, that special spot that we have, the summer triangle.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, that red spot's in there. That word we can't say, but starting with the cooling tower, which is Messier 29 or NGC 6913, also known as the cooling tower. They get that from obviously the nuclear power plants in the States. But it's an open cluster located in the constellation of Cygnus, in the Orion arm of the Milky Way galaxy in the local group.
That's
so if you look up and find that center star in Cygnus, or the Northern Cross, whatever you like to call it, cooling tower is just down a little bit from it in the same field of view in the binoculars. And you can see it's got that double curve right here. So there's your cooling tower. Number 2 would be Mini Cassiopeia. This object is an asterism located in the constellation Vulpecula. Cassiopeia, sometimes called the Mini W due to its size and relatively faint stars. This asterism is really better a binocular target than a naked eye target. But again, if we look up towards the Cygnus and you come down, you got Altair down here in the corner, is it? The bottom star?
Alberia.
Yeah, Alberio, that's what I'm thinking of. Just come straight down from that and you'll find the Mini Cassiopeia. And there's a little W right there. It stands right out. You can't miss it. And it fits perfectly in their field of view of a set of 10 by 50 binoculars. Next one here is a little challenging, but it's still fun. It's called the red-necked emu. So observe the red-necked emu with binoculars starting at the orange star Gamma Cygni that forms the heart of the Cygnus constellation. So it's right up in there with the cooling tower. Move 2.5 degrees towards Alberio and the star 34 Cygnus. Next you go, this is never mind these directions, just go up. You'll find that center star in Cygnus. Come on down a bit where the cooling tower is and drop down a little bit from there. And here you get your red-necked emu, and that's what it looks like. So That's a more challenging target, but an interesting one when you do get to see it. And of course, the normal one that we run into is the coat hanger or Brocchi's cluster or colander at $3.99. It's a random grouping of stars located in the constellation Vulpecula near the border with Sakita. A number of stars to the asterism, which give it rise to its name, the coat hanger. And there's a burial you can write down from it. You can see it almost naked eye, but that's what it looks like in a pair of 10 by 50s minus the color. And it does resemble a coat hanger. Moving away a little bit from Cygnus area, we're going to run into Job's coffin of the mini kite. This asterism perches below the imaginary line connecting Altair and Deneb in the summer triangle. Form of the four brightest stars in, ready? Delphines. If I have it right. So, you look up, you find that constellation. It's an easy constellation to find all by itself. And the whole constellation resembles a little mini kite. So you get the kite at the top and the tail coming down. Not hard to find. And then you get the four top stars that create a square. They call it Job's coffin. Another easy one that's not too far away from that is a toadstool. So a beautiful small asterism in the shape of, yes, a toadstool. It's approximately 13 stars in this asterism, and you can find it in your NGC 7025 at the bottom of the toadstool. So if you come off of Job's coffin over here, draw a line from those two stars straight down, it'll bring you through that 7025. Excuse me, and it'll put the toadstool right on you, and that's what it looks like upside down. So you got a toadstool. Just a little further away, not too much longer. This one here is Napoleon's hat. This asterism is composed of 7 stars, the shape of Napoleon's hat. The asterism is located very near the star Arcturus in the constellation Bootes. If you look up, there's Arcturus. Down a little bit, there's the hat. Excuse me. And of course, the broken engagement ring at Polaris. We can see around Polaris itself. Best viewed with a telescope or binoculars. The area around Polaris, the pattern with the engagement ring is shown. Excuse me, and the circle is about 5-degree field of view. So there's Polaris, and there's your circle. So there is the engagement ring. Excuse me. All right, there's many more. So get outside. Look up with your binoculars, use your imagination, and join the night sky and enjoy it very much. And the last painful pun, here we go. What do astronomers do when they finish calculating the time from sunup to sundown? They call it a day.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Enjoy your binocular summer targets, everybody.
oh,
It's Bino Bud.
glad you saved that one to the end. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh man. Awesome, Mike. Great. So, yeah, that was a lot. And the thing is, if you want to review Mike's list, find us on YouTube. Don't look for us on Facebook. Facebook is deleting my videos monthly now. So I only have a month to download my videos and they're gone. So our live shows have all been deleted. But if you go to YouTube, you'll find them on YouTube. All of our episodes, right back to the first. So anyway, that's where to find Mike's list. After the show tonight, you should be able to find it right up there. Write them all down. Good targets. Thanks, Mike. Okay, let's go from there to Rosanna's fun fact. All hail mighty Cygnus, Mike says.
It's a great area.
Oh, it is.
Great
Sure.
area.
I hear that. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Hey, welcome back, Rosanna, for another absolutely wonderful fun fact. For this, our final fun fact until the fall. So let's get right into Rosanna's final fun fact. So Rosanna writes, "Hi, Paul. Here it is, the first long weekend of the summer. Many of us are eager for the Canada Day holiday celebrations and accompanying fireworks. Canada is just a great place to be on July the 1st. Now, just hang on a second. I'll get my photos up here. Here we go. I just want to apologize beforehand if I miss you. Whack a Canadian. But But the skies have always provided a type of fireworks for stargazers. Supernovas, of course. However, it's been 400 years since we have had a supernova in our galaxy, and we are about 300 years overdue for one. Visualizing the size of outer space is beyond our imaginations, especially when reading that so far in 2025, there have been 10,907 supernovas cited, with 958 already confirmed. The brightest one found so far this year is 2025 GJ, discovered back in January, and NGC 2986, which is an elliptical galaxy in the constellation Hydra. Now here is NGC 2986. That's where the supernova was there. Now I'm going to see if I can read the information that's on there. So this image below is a photograph of NGC 2986 from the digitized Sky Safari 2, and then it just gives some credit. So I guess there's not really any information there we really need to know about. So in any event, and here is the nova. So that's the supernova you see right there. And it's marked with an arrow. So I'm going to show you that. And there's your supernova. So perhaps some might point out that these supernovae are not quite in the same visually stimulating category as our man-made fireworks, but what follows definitely is, and definitely worth celebrating. We talked about the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in a fun fact a few weeks ago, and the first images were finally released on June 23rd. And this is an ooh, ah, wow. And here it comes, folks. Here's the first image. That is absolutely stunning. So this is from the Virgo cluster from the Rubin. Now the Virgo galaxy cluster shown here in a tiny fraction of a much larger composite image taken by the NSF-DOE Vera C. Rubin Observatory. And another stunning image released just on June the 23rd is this one. And I don't think anybody's ever seen the lagoon and the Trifid quite like this. And so here she writes, this composite of the Trifid and Lagoon Nebula is one of the first images released by the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, and the resolution is jaw-dropping. Each full image snapped by the observatory's 8.4 meter Simoni survey telescope and 3,200 megapixel SST camera would require 400 4K high definition television screens to display at its original size, according to the observatory. Once up and running, the Rubin Observatory will produce on the order of 20 terabytes of data each night as it images the entire southern sky every 3 to 4 days during the Legacy Survey of Space and Time, or the LSST. It will do this for 10 years, building up an ultra-wide and ultra-high definition time-lapse view of the universe that we have never been privy to before. That's just amazing. I mean, you can this is high resolution at its best. I mean, you can get in there and just dive so deep into this data. It's unbelievable. So the Vera, sorry, let me just get this next photo up. There we go. So this is the Earth ground view of the observatory's telescope. Light from astronomical objects bounces off of each telescope 3 mirrors before entering the camera for imaging. Each image covers an area on the sky equivalent to 45 full moons, or 9.62 square degrees. Once the LSST is underway, every night the telescope will step through the sky, snapping about 1,000 images per day, guided by an automated scheduler that takes into account factors such as weather and survey goals. The observatory will complete a full survey of the entire visible southern hemisphere sky from its location every 3 to 4 days, and then start all over again. So the Vera Observatory has become one of many Earth's eyes on the skies. Its discoveries do not detract from, but only add to the fantastic views from the Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescope. Beauty and data stream into our lives daily, like this one from the Hubble HOAG's objective. And anyway, that's the ring galaxy. It's just unbelievable, the data and how it looks. So a nearly perfect ring of hot blue stars, pinwheels about the yellow nucleus of an unusual galaxy known as Hoag's of the object, in this image by Hubble's Wide Field and Planetary Camera 2. The blue ring, which is dominated by clusters of young massive stars, contrasts sharply with the yellow nucleus of mostly older stars. What happened to be a gap separating the two stellar populations may actually contain some stars, or star clusters rather, that are almost too faint to see. Curiously, an object that bears an uncanny resemblance to the Hoag's object itself can be seen in the gap at the 1 o'clock position. The object is probably a background ring galaxy. So, while visiting the Hubble page, I discovered that you can check out what Hubble saw on your birthday. So what did Hubble see on your birthday? So you can just go to that page. This is what it looks like, and go click on there, and then you can see exactly what they saw. So you can go. So here you go, Canada. Happy birthday from the Hubble. Wishing everyone a very stellar summer. And that is this week's, and for the rest of the seasons. And there we are. An absolutely fun fact. And that telescope, by the way, I think the data is going to be available from what I heard, because I think I've seen a couple of people trying to download it. But if you're going to do it, beware that you need a lot of space on your computer to download such data. But would it ever be fun to process? Anyway,
the picture that you showed in the web P, like WEPP, is 180 megabytes. I was just on the website. Take a look.
180 megabytes.
Yeah.
That's it. Wow.
That's only one. I'll show you. Well, actually,
Just
if
one,
get through the photos, I got it at the end of my photos now, so I'll show you.
You can't put it on Facebook. You can only do 25 megabytes.
Thank you, Rosanna. That's interesting stuff. Yeah, and we're in the age. We're living in this age now where everything is changing so quickly, and we're gathering so much information on space exploration.
Yeah.
It's just coming in droves, like exponentially.
Well, you know what? What a lot of astrophotographers are doing now, and they've been doing it for a while, but even more so now because the data is becoming more and more easy to get, is because people like us that live in these climates that you can't really get any time under the sky because of the weather conditions. They're getting data off of these remote telescopes and off of this information from space that some of these scopes are bringing back. So do some research. You got a couple hours to go online and look up where can you get data to process from any one of these telescopes. There's a bunch of ground-based ones on Earth that you can get some good data. And then there's some stuff that you can get from outer space. And I still think the one that went around Saturn.
Well, no, Cassini's gone, but Juno, the one around Jupiter, you can download that data.
Yeah.
You can color it in yourself, basically. Add the colors that you think it would look like, right?
Yeah, because they're making it available so that hopefully that amateurs like us will find things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because they don't have the time to go through all that data, so they rely a lot on people like us. So anyway.
Well, they said that Rubin telescope, I think they said it discovered 2,000 asteroids that we didn't know about in that one shot, in that one picture.
A wild, eh?
Yeah. So, they're expecting it'll be crazy. Yeah, I mean, between that and Webb and Hubble, we've been spoiled. But it's fantastic to be living in times that we can see this kind of stuff. I think it's just amazing. All right, let's go to some photos quickly. Let me go on here. Where am I at? Right here. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I know. Yes. Here.
Mike's doing his Linus impression.
I see that, yeah.
Beep, beep, beep.
That's a nice image.
Yeah. This is one from Dan Garrett. So Dan says, hi, Chris. He said, I'm attending the AstroCon 25 in Bryce Canyon, Utah, sponsored by the Astronomical League. He said, it's a 4-day conference with lectures daily, workshops, and vendor exhibitors from ZWO, Explore Scientific, Stellar View. Don't want to hear it, Dan. Thanks anyway. I'm jealous. And he said it's great to talk to the manufacturers about their equipment and what to look forward to next. He said there's also a lot of big brains in that hall. This photo was taken from Ruby's Inn from my campsite using, oh, is this the one? That's the one, I think, from using my Samsung 25 in expert raw mode on a tripod with remote.
Yep. That looks like a camera Milky Way.
Yeah.
There's a prancing pony right there.
Yep.
Yep, Pony. Awesome, Dan.
Beautiful shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now to Milky Way. Second one is, so he's got a separate picture here for us to show. This one, Milky Way rising east. This photo was also taken with my Samsung on a tripod with remote. I'm going to be spoiled after camping out in Boulder One skies. You're right.
Oh.
Yeah, really. Wow.
That's Disneyland, Dan. We call that Disneyland.
Yeah, indeed.
And I'm going to go on here with a few more. He says these photos were taken with my Seastar S50, also taken from my campsite in Bryce Canyon, Utah. Not long exposures because I was like a kid in a candy store hopping around the sky. You only have so many hours for sure. Photos directly from the Seastar, no post-processing, just AI denoise feature. The National Park Service is also putting on Astrofest this week, so I have both public and private star parties I can attend this week. Got my scopes pointed up, he says.
There you go.
Indeed.
Second one
Awesome.
there.
Nice shots.
Nice there.
Wow.
And his third one here.
Wow.
M8. Yeah.
Very
Beauty.
nice.
Well done.
And just a couple more here from Dan. He says, hey, Chris, captured this picture of the sun passing through the fire smoke in Utah. Not saying it's an alien mothership, but pretty strange. Yeah.
Well,
A nice window.
Yeah. And this one also, he says, I can see why there's a force for it. Fire. The sun went right into the trees. Yeah.
isn't that nice sunspot and everything?
Gorgeous.
Very nice.
Cool. And lastly, he says, after all that, I did capture the Eagle Nebula with my Seastar S50, raw photo, no post-processing, just AI denoise. And Dan. So thanks, Dan. Beautiful.
There's the pillars.
Yeah,
Good shot. Great clarity for no post-processing.
you bet.
Yeah.
Star, yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Dan, for all those. And congratulations on your Star Party event.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to move over to Jennifer LG. Sent me in this one. And I said, hi, Chris, my submissions for the last show for a while, as you guys have a well-deserved break. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Attached are my photos of NGC 7822, the Teddy Bear Nebula.
Well, I'm not familiar with that one.
Constellation of Cygnus. Yeah, so I'm not sure where the teddy bear is, but he's going to be in there.
I'm not familiar with that one. Wow.
One of you guys look that up, maybe? Or
I'll have to look that up.
yeah, see if you can find something that's similar to it for me. That's cool. It's in the constellation of Cepheus.
What is it, Chris? NG what?
NGC 7822.
7822?
Yeah. Let me, yeah, and you can hang on to Paul, and I'll, once they finish.
No, that's fine. I just want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she's got the NGC 5055, 5055, the Sunflower Galaxy. Beautiful there. In the constellation of Canis Venatici. Nice. And look at the galaxies out in the background there as well. Cool. Nice one, Jennifer. And I'm going to go on to this one she sent in of the Wizard Nebula, also in Cepheus.
Oh, the wizard.
Yeah.
I always like that target.
Yeah. And finally, 2.5 hour star trail image.
Nice.
Looking southwest, she says. So, yeah.
It's really cool at that angle, hey?
Now she says there are lots of satellites and jet trails, and down in the gap at the bottom, a greenish group of dots that was probably a firefly trail.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a bunch of them out now.
Yeah, very busy. These ones down here, yeah.
Yeah.
Very busy sky Thursday night, she says. Have a great summer. So thank you, Jennifer, and same to you.
Awesome.
Great shot.
Awesome.
Yeah, look at all the satellites, eh? Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway, we can't get by it, so we have to live with it. We're best with it. Anyway, thank you, Jennifer, for those. And Chris Benoit's capture here of
Oh, look at that. Ladies.
M45 Pleiades, Seastar S50, 2 sessions of gathering light frames. using Cyril, GIMP, and Graxpert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice reflection nebula there, hey?
yeah,
Yeah. That's always a really, really nice target.
then Chris. I'm gonna grab a couple here from Mark Ficken next. This is from his C Star 30. From our backyard in Bronte under very hot conditions. He says M13, M57, and M56. So here's M56. And then
Oh, look at that, the ring.
yeah, pretty cool.
Isn't that cool? I remember the first time I saw that, and the telescope was awesome.
With an S30, yeah. And his capture of M13 here. Nicely done.
Very nice.
Thanks, Mark. Robert Cadet. Got these ones here. NGC 6888 or the Crescent Nebula in Cygnus. Taken with the C-Star S50 on June the 27th using the Hubble palette. Total exposure time was 1 hour and 30 minutes of 20 exposures, totally using EQ mode. Processed using Cyril, Graxpert, and Photoshop. I had to reduce the star intensity on this capture as looking into the Milky Way area. The field of view was completely saturated with stars to the point of being overwhelming. That's okay.
It is.
Yeah.
That's difficult to get because
Yeah,
of the stars, so
yeah.
many stars in there.
Yeah, it's a busy star field. That's in.
Well
Perfect.
done.
Well done. Yeah. LM51 Whirlpool Galaxy in Canis Venatici, just off the handle of the Ursa Major, the Big Dipper. This captures approximately 21 minutes of 20-second exposures using the C-Star S50 in EQ mode. I was playing around trying different targets in the interim, waiting for my other primary target to clear my tree line, the crescent. He said processing in Cyril using the Hubble palette and finished in Photoshop.
Very nice.
Nice up.
Nice star colors.
Cygnus Wall. Third one here, Cygnus Wall, the bright prominent ridge within the larger North American nebula, located in the constellation of Cygnus. It is a region of active star formation spanning approximately 20 light years in length and 90 light years from north to south. The intense radiation from these young stars is eroding the wall, creating its distinctive shapes. It is an emission nebula, meaning that it glows as a result of energized gas, primarily hydrogen, emitting light. The North American Nebula and the Cygnus Wall is approximately 1,500 to 2,500 light years away from Earth, and this is an exposure of 2 hours and 20 minutes using ZWO C-Star S50 in EQ mode, with the dual band filter enabled, denoised in Graxpert, and final processing in Cyril and Photoshop. Nice job, Robert.
Yeah, looks very good. Very nice.
Yeah. Now I'm just going to go quickly to that photo that I just downloaded, and here we are, Paul. This is the one that we were showing earlier.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
We'll zoom in here a little bit. Take a peek around. Now this is 3 galaxies interacting with each other, right?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's amazing.
They could be starting.
Imagine if you had that data and you had it full res, how deep you could dive into that photograph.
I think they said there's 20 million galaxies in this picture somewhere.
Is that all?
Look at these ones here, though. Isn't this beautiful? The spirals.
Oh, unbelievable.
That's a digital camera, 8,200 megapixel.
Wow.
Look at who would have thought there's that many details? I know, Chris, you talked about that, about how many galaxies are in that area of the sky.
Yeah.
But here,
this is the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
This is southern hemisphere stuff. So, but it's going to take a picture of the sky every night for the next 10 years, and it's going to hopefully put together a time lapse, so we'll be able to see movement of stars, especially, right?
That'd be interesting.
10-year period. That's just
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Go to that site. It's called Rubin Observatory, RUBIN, and there are several pictures in there for download so far. These are just a test image to see how the telescope's working.
I'd say it's working well.
What's going to come when they really get serious about it? Eh?
It's
incredible stuff.
Nice.
I was going to put up my picture to send your photos to, but we don't have photos to because this is our last program.
Yeah.
Before we take a break.
Hang on to them and gather a bunch up and send a bunch.
Absolutely. Or send them in to me and I'll hang on to them for you.
a question for you, Paul. Have you heard of the question mark nebula?
The question mark nebula? Yes. No.
Because it's also the teddy bear nebula.
Oh, okay.
I heard of the question mark before, but I looked up.
Is that the NGC 7822?
That's correct.
Okay, I got a photo of it here. Just a sec.
So it's known as both the question mark nebula and.
Now that you say question mark,
yeah,
it looks just like a question mark.
Yeah.
Does it ever, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I wasn't familiar with that one.
I wasn't
Yeah,
either, but as I saw the question mark and I went, well, wait a minute. This, and then I looked them both up. Yep, both same NGC number, both same thing.
Yeah, I
Cool.
can't zoom in on it, but in any event, anyway, it's a really cool nebula.
Yeah,
Nicely done.
not at all.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our show for this evening. First of all, I'd like to take a moment here to thank all of you for joining us over this past season. It's been wonderful to be able to come with bring this program to you every Sunday night. We are taking a break, as we mentioned, until September sometime. Maybe coming back with a bit of a new format too, where we had talked about it between us about doing a lot more DIY, DUI, or whatever you want to call it. Not DUI. Yourself, DIY, not DUI. Yeah, do it yourself kind of thing. So like how to collimate your scope and how to clean your eyepieces and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get more back into the teaching part of it. I think for our first, maybe not for every show, maybe every second show or something like that. But anyway, we get the summer to talk about it, and it's really just to hope that material that we presented here over the last season has been something that you can use and that you can spend some time stargazing, especially joining us at one of our many upcoming events. So plan to come out and see us at a Star Party event. Don't forget too that all of our past videos are up on YouTube. So if you want to see any past videos over the last season, you can find them there. Special thanks, of course, goes out to our fourth musketeer there, Rosanna, for bringing us our fun facts all for the whole season here. She makes a big commitment for this.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Rosanna, for all those interesting topics. A special thanks too goes out to all of you who've been sharing our program with your friends and family. And thanks for being here with us over this past season. We look forward to coming back to you.
And Kurt.
And Kurt, well, that's right. Yes, our fifth musketeer.
Fifth, yeah, exactly.
So until September, then everybody have a great summer. Wishing you all very clear skies. As we like to say, guys, final time right now. Open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes pointed up. Good evening, everybody. Take care. Have a great summer.